In this lesson, we're going to be solving and graphing absolute value inequalities on a number line. So let's say first we had x equals 3. So then on a number line, if we were going to graph that, we'd go to 3 and we'd just put a dot because we're saying that is exactly where x equals, it equals 3 and nothing else. So we put a solid dot on there. If we had x is greater than 3, then we would, on the number line, go to 3. And since it's greater than, it's saying we do not want anything, we don't want it to be 3, but we want everything greater than 3. So in math, the only way to show that we want everything greater than 3, but not to include 3, we would put an open circle, and then we would highlight everything to the right of that. And one more example, if we had x is less than or equal to 3, then we would go on the number line, we go to 3, and it's saying that we want all numbers that are less than, but they can also include, because it can be equal to 3, so we're going to put a solid dot on there because it can include 3, since it has that equal sign underneath it, the less than sign, and we want all numbers less than that, so then we would highlight everything to the left of that and show. So that's how we would show x is less than or equal to 3. So now we're going to look at absolute value. And just a quick review, if we had the absolute value of n equals 5. So what numbers can we put in for n that would equal 5? And if you remember, absolute value means the distance the number is away from 0, how many units it is from 0. So the numbers that can be in for n, and the absolute value would be n equals 5, and it also can be equal to negative 5. Because the absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of negative 5 is also 5. Because once again, absolute value means the distance a number is away from 0. So since we can have two answers for absolute value, because it's a distance from 0 either way, if we had the absolute value of x is greater than 5, so now we're going to get into our inequalities. That means that x is greater than 5, so we just drop the absolute value marks and just write the equation over again. But it also can be x is less than negative 5, because we can also go the opposite direction, since absolute value means we can have two answers because it's a distance either way from 0. So if we have also, let's say, 3x, the absolute value of 3x is greater than or equal to 12, then we would just drop the absolute value marks and write the equation. We'd solve the equation, divide by 3, so x is greater than or equal to 4. And we would also have 3x, and we would switch the sign, just like up here above. I didn't say that up here. But we switched the direction of that. Before it was greater than. But we had to switch it because we also can go the other direction. So we have 3x is less than or equal to negative 12. So you had to flip your sign, plus make the other number its opposite. And divide by 3. So x is less than or equal to negative 4. So then if we're going to graph that, so we had x is greater than or equal to 4, and x is less than or equal to negative 4. So on our number line, we go to 4, go to negative 4. I'll use a different color on here. So we use red for this one. So x is greater than or equal to 4. Since it has a greater than or equal sign, we can put a dot on there, solid dot. And I want all numbers that are greater than or equal to 4. It can include 4, so then we go this way. And then I'd go to my negative 4. That also would be a solid dot because of the equal sign underneath there. And it says I want all numbers that are less than negative 4, so then it would be everything this way. So my solution set would be the two red marks on there going to the right and to the left. And one little hint I probably should have showed before, if you have a less than or greater than, it's going to be an open circle on the number line. If you have a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle on the number line. So let's try another one here. We'll say the absolute value of 2x minus 9 is less than or equal to 27. So once again, we just drop the absolute value mark. So we have 2x minus 9 is less than 27. And I'll write the other one down here. 2x minus 9, and we have to flip the sign because we can have two answers, greater than or equal to, and you have to make that to its opposite there, so it'd be negative 27. So we'll start with this one first. I'll do this one in red here. So we would add 9. All we're doing is solving our equation, two-step equation. 2x is less than or equal to 36. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So x is less than or equal to 18. So that's one answer. And I'll do the other one in green or blue here. So we have plus 9, 2x is greater than or equal to negative 18. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to negative 9. So those are my two answers. So if I go on my number line then, I go to 18. And I'm going to show my work above the line, and I'll put my final answer right on the number line. So I'm just doing some work out and above here. So I'm going to put x is less than or equal to 18, so I'm going to put a solid dot here. So I'm just doing my work up here, and then I'll put my final answer right on the number line. I want all the numbers that are less than or equal to 18, so that means I'd go this way. And I'll do the other one in blue here. So I have go to negative 9, and it says greater than or equal to negative 9. Since it's a greater than or equal to, once again, I put a solid dot on negative 9. And I want numbers that are greater than that, so then I would go this way. And what I'm looking for is where the two lines overlap, and this is where they overlap between here and here. So my final answer would be here at negative 9. That should be a solid. All this in here, and a solid dot right there. So my answer then is everything in the green, because that's where the red and the blue line on the top and the bottom intersect at, and that's what I'm looking for. Alright, let's do another one here. The absolute value of x plus 10 is greater than 5. So I have x plus 10 greater than 5. All I do is drop the absolute value marks. For the first equation and the second equation, I start writing the equation again. I have to flip my sign, because once again you can have two answers for absolute value, and then make this its opposite. So now I'm going to solve that, and I'll do this one first one in blue. So minus 10, minus 10. So x is greater than negative 15. And then this one, minus 10, minus 10, or excuse me. Let's go back to that. This should be negative 5. Sorry about that. And this one would be x is less than negative 15. So there's my two answers there. So I draw my number line. Let's do a different color here. I'll do black. Alright, so I'm going to graph the first one, the blue one. So it says I'm going to go to negative 5, and it says greater than, so that means I want an open circle. And I want all numbers that are greater than negative 5. So it's going to go this way. And I go to negative 15. And I'll do that one in red. And it says I want all numbers that are less than negative 15. So it's an open circle because it has a less than. It's going to be this way. So I made the number line a little bit too long, but that's alright. So my solution set then is everything in the red going to the left and everything in the blue going to the right. So for your homework, there won't be anything in the book. I'm going to write down 5 problems that I want you to copy down, and then solve these on your paper to check and then hand in later. So there's no homework in the book. It'll be these 5 problems that I'm going to write down. So you need to write all these problems down and solve this for your homework. So the first one is the absolute value of x plus 2 is greater than 3. The second one is 3x plus 12 is greater than 42. The third one is 2x greater than or equal to 6. The fourth one, x plus 5 is less than 2. And the fifth problem will be x minus 8 is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so that is your homework for lesson 1-7. So we went back a little bit, and then we'll also be doing lesson 2-7 with this. So do lesson 1-7 first, and then do those homework, then go to 2-7 and do that homework. So they kind of will go together. So good luck, and hope this helps.